Hi Bear Cubs, welcome back to Barbie. In episode 1 of Quick Fix, we're going to be dealing with this Hispanic My First Barbie. Normally the quickest fix is a shampoo, a condition and a boil wash. But what if you fancied something a little bit more special? Or you have a couple of areas on the doll's hair that you need to tweak? I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Hispanic Barbie's fringe or bangs were plastered into her hair, so after she had a shampoo and condition, I separated her fringe or bangs out, gave her a boil wash, and this is what we're with. What I'm planning on doing is giving her the curl in her fringe or bangs back, and after a boil wash her hair sort of looked and felt really thin, so with the aid of a couple of swing arm curlers I'm going to put the curl back in her hair. So she's a bit damaged, she's been bitten, and I did this off camera, but I dipped her hands into boiling water and believe it or not I smoothed the worst of the bites and the nibbles out of her hands. Okay, here we are. We're going to use my trusty pintail comb, a couple of large tony swing arm curlers and a small tony swing arm curler for her bangs, and we've got my trusty scissors to do some trimming and the end papers. So to start with, I'm going to give a fringe or bangs a quick comb, and I'm going to trim off this excess hair before we put the curler in. Okay, so a fringe has been trimmed. I'm going to grab the end paper and hold it in landscape position and fold it over. We're going to get the small curler and roll up the end paper, curling under it so the fringe has a nice under curl so it's not flicked up. Now with the main portion of her hair I'm going to split it into two sections. Try and make the sections equal because you get a much more uniform curl that way. And this is what I'm doing now. Once the top section's been secured, we're going to work on the bottom section, so give it a good comb through. Grab your end paper. Again, I'm going to use it landscape. Pop a fold in there, and we're going to grab the curler and roll under all the way up to the nape of the neck. Now that's secure, we're going to take down the top section, give it a good comb through again, and we're just going to repeat what we did on the bottom section. So get your end paper and roll the hair under and then secure. And we're now ready to boil wash. So we're not boil washing, we are boil perming. So in a bowl I've got some boiling water and I'm going to dunk her in there, and we're going to keep her there for 2.5 minutes. Poor Hispanic Barbie, she looks absolutely terrified. So as I said, she's going to have 2.5 minutes, and here are a couple of dolls that are next in line for some quick fixes. This Barbie, she lost some plugs right at the front. Western stamping Tara Lynn. and in the background, in the struggle dress, you can see who's going to be in episode 4 of Baby Rehab Centre. I always give my dolls 2.5 minutes in the boiling water. I find that 2.5 minutes for me personally is the golden time for the curls to set and form. You may find a little longer or a little less works for you, but that's my preference. So she's been in the water for 2.5 minutes. I'm going to give her a rinse under cold water to set the curl, and then we'll pop her in front of a radiator for her to dry before we take the curlers out. Here we are a couple of days later and she's dried. Her hair's dried in the curlers and we're all ready to pop the curlers out and see what's going on there. So I'm using a dressing out or 5-prong comb, and we're dressing her in this My First Barbie princess dress. And these little shoes, the colour's not right, but it's the closest thing I have. And we've got a little tiara. We'll start by taking out the fringe curler to see what's happened there. Please excuse me adjusting the camera. And there we go, that looks pretty cool. And we're now going to pop out the large curlers and see what's going on with those. So here are her curls, they look pretty good. We're gonna give her a brush out with the 5-prong part of the dressing out comb. As you can see, her hair just combs out beautifully and she has these gorgeous uniform curls, and she's got a lot more volume than she had after her boil wash. So I'm just combing the curls out a little to tame them. Something that you may not know about curls is the more you brush them or comb them, the calmer they become. And this also works on doll head, but you do need to be careful that you don't comb too much and end up with frizz. If you do end up with a bit of frizz, a quick tip is to use your thumb and your forefinger and comb the hair. Hold the hair with your thumb and comb the hair around your forefinger, and that'll give you a nice little reset. As you can see there, all the curls have turned into one little underflip. And if you give me 1 second, we will undress her and redress her into the princess dress. And now she's dressed, so let's just pop on those little high-heeled shoes and she should be good to go. Okay, this tiara or crown, whatever you want to call it, I have feelings about it. Number one, it was too big for her head, and number two, I just don't think it looked right in the end. So after filming and having her sat on my display shelf for a couple of days, I decided that I was just going to take the crown off and let her have some big voluminous hair. So I've just combed out her hair again, and if you give me 1 second, I'll pop her on a stand and you can see exactly what she looks like now. And here she is in all her glory. You can get to see the whole thing with the dress, the hair and the crown. Like I said, I wasn't feeling the crown at the end, so I took it off. But yeah, here she is, all done and dusted. I am really pleased with the curls in her hair, and I'm really pleased that it only took 2 large curlers to do. So we have no background with these photos. I decided just to see how everything would photograph against the bare wall. I did notice after taking these photos that I have a couple of smudge marks on the wall, so next time I'm going to have to make sure I wipe down the wall before I start taking photos. So Bear Cubs, I really hoped you enjoyed watching this first episode of Quick Fix as much as I enjoyed making this video for you. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. That's Baby out.